shiny. The future's cured. Nice hard, clear, soft coat. Look at that. That's a very very smooth, very glossy finish. That is a great base for decals. The Airfix decals. See if I can show this. They have a very noticeable texture to the clear, to the finish. What? Excuse me? That's just adorable. Aren't you amazing? Flat decals on gloss paint. Wow. Craftsman, huh? You're no craftsman. You're no craftsman. I know what your problem is, and it isn't a clear coat. I know how to fix that problem, homie. I can fix that problem. Easier than anything you're doing. Ooh. Easier than a clear coat, huh? Okay, what exactly are you gonna do to fix this problem? I'm actually kind of curious. Yeah, that's right, homie. I got a technique for Airfix decals. Airfix fit. Airfix everything. This is the fix for Airfix. The dope way to build an Airfix kit. And I got a lot of experience in dope. Trust me. Alright, so this is the kit. Now pay attention. I think about it. I think about bad fit. It makes me freaking angry. I want to puke. Then I think about them decals. Now I really want to puke. So I come up with a solution. Right? That solution is this. This is a trash can. You just take this thing and you put it right in the trash can. Problem freaking solved, homie. Boom. Oh, yeah, one other thing. Then you go and get the Tamiya kit. Now you're in. Now you got the smooth vibes going. Now you're ready to rock. Now you're ready to be an artist, man. You're ready to be a dope modeler. Like me, a dope modeler. Yeah, Tamiya. Well, except the decals. These decals are awful. You need wet transfers. You need some wet transfers too, homie. Well, okay. Now we're ready to do some decals. So as I showed you earlier, this Airfix decal sheet, you can see that thick flat film right there. This is a set of decals that comes with the Edward 148 scale P51D, the Chattanooga Choo Choo boxing. Notice these decals, these Charlie 2 Mike decals. You can see the clear film, but only just barely. See how thin and clear that is? When I look at these decals straight on, the only reason I can see the clear film is because it's shinier than the paper. It's that clear. These are a completely different animal than these. Completely different. This is why it's important to understand what you're doing in your process. Okay? If you're going to use kit decals that are thick and a bit translucent and flat, you're going to take a different step. You're going to think differently than you're going to if you have these high quality aftermarket decals. Now that might seem like a no-brainer, but people speak in terms of very, very specific, gloss before decals. Don't gloss before decals. Glossing before decals is far more important when you're using rough decals like this. If you're not using rough decals, if you're using decals like this, it's less of a problem. You'll have a greater chance of success with these decals over flat paint or smooth paint or whatever. But I still claim and I still feel that unless you have some reason not to gloss, you should consider glossing, just because it just makes it so much easier to get a consistently good result. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I consider a good result. A good result for me is when I can't tell it's a decal. I mean, I might know it's a decal, but I see no evidence of it. I see no sign of the clear film, no ridges, nothing. It's just there. It looks like part of the model, and it looks like it was painted on, or anyway, it just blends beautifully. That is what I consider a good decal. Again, I'm not a master craftsman, at least in some people's eyes, but that's my requirement. And if you get on news groups and people are showing their decals, you'll often see that they failed to achieve that. They're focused on silvering. I don't have any silvering, but I got good results. Now, wait a minute. In my world, silvering and good results aren't the same thing. Good results, no silvering is part of having a good result, but you've got to have other checks. My list is longer for a good result than somebody who just says no silvering. Okay? I don't consider silvering to be a problem to get rid of. Silvering is not hard to not encounter. So this is why I'm making this video, for people who really do want to push their modeling a little further. You know, not that you have to, but if you want to and you want to look at things a little differently, if you can see evidence of your decal film, you didn't get a good result. In my world. Your world, maybe you did. Anyway, the first step for me to getting to that point, the easiest way possible, is of course the gloss coat. I use Future, honestly, largely to show that Future can be used to do this. But in this process, Future's not a bad choice because I have acrylic paint under it. Where Future makes less sense is if the paint under it isn't acrylic. If you're using like lacquers, Mr. Paint, Tamiya, Gunzy, things like that, Future makes way less sense. I wouldn't use Future in that process, and the reason I wouldn't is because lacquer-based clears like XGX2 or GX20 or GX, I can't remember. There's a Gunzy clear, there's a Tamiya X22 clear. Those all work fantastic over lacquer paints. They work great over Gunzy. They work great over Mr. Color. They work great over Mr. Paint. You know, I guess Mr. Paint even has a clear coat. The thing that you need to understand is the quality of your clear coat isn't really important, because the only reason it's there is to help you with the utility of putting on a decal. It's not like a car. It doesn't need to be a showroom finish. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be able to help you put your decals on. So we've got that here. I consider this really good. Actually, somebody told me my clear coats were marbly and rough, but when I'm not looking at this with a zoom lens, I'm not microscopically required to have a super smooth wing. This wing looks good. Okay, so now let's go to the next step, and that's actually putting those decals on this gloss wing.